Greetings, Dante, 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 and of course, who could forget Dante? And welcome to the final circle of hell! That is right, people. We are finally there. We are down in the circle of betrayal. And I have a massive reveal for you all. And that's... I did it again. Did it again? I forgot to hit record. There is another missing episode. Actually, this one is completely recorded. It just doesn't have any audio. Literally not a single byte. If you really want it, I'll upload the hour-and-a-half of completely silent footage if that's something you're really in for. But I don't think it's particularly engaging content, I'm not lying. Basically, what we did in the previous episode, the now missing episode, that's 2 in the space of 3 episodes, not great. Not great, is we ran out of power completely over there, and we got all of this automated. So I'll walk you through what happens very quickly. So these IC-10 chips, there's one in each of our H2 combustors, they just turn these machines on and off when the pressure in here gets to a certain limit. I think it's 20 megapascals, and then it shuts it off, pretty much. So they'll burn until they run out, and then it goes. Now, over here, we get some rather clever, well, not clever, it's rudimentary cooling automation. So this filter will allow gas through here, as long as the pressure in here is below, I think it's like 10 megapascals, and the temperature has dropped below 150. When that happens, this valve also opens, and it allows this gas to mix with this line over here. Reminder that we use our night gas, which we need to replace so that we're not... we need to get a separate tank to deal with the liquefying pollutants, so we're not using this one to do it. That way I can pressurize it higher, and it'll work better. We need to... we basically share the temperature between this pipe here and this pipe here. When this pipe, which is probably it's currently in a couple hundred degrees, when that reaches 150... There we go, it's 158 right now and dropping. You'll see this pipe will flash on, or this valve will flash on, and it'll allow gas from this area to move down into that area. As long as the pressure is higher on this side, it'll just sort of passively go that way. And I think that happened, and we just didn't see it tick over. And how are we here? We're at 135. So yeah, this has just refreshed itself, but as you can see, it's only at 1 megapascal. I definitely need to switch that around. So we should... Oh, for a second it was in the right place, then it turned off. So this pipe analyzer here reads the content of this pipe. This pipe is not directly connected to this loop over here. This is the loop that is fed by the air conditioner. This is like our second stage of cooling. I know it's a bit cramped in here, sorry. This exploits the cool pollutant liquid that we created way back at the start of this series to cool down this gas to a second stage. So it goes from, 2000 degrees over there to 150 C here. Then in this pipe, it gets down to 50, as you can see, and then that valve flashes on, which allows this gas to move through into this area over here. And again, as long as the pressure in this pipe is higher than this pipe, it will push gas through, just sort of naturally, right? We don't have to spend any energy on a volume pump or whatever. We can just use Brownian motion to do it. That means, of course, that our air conditioner is only dealing with a small amount of liquid, which means it's actually able to bring it down to temperature. So right now it's about 60 C. What I've realized is we actually need a second air conditioner. One is not able to cool this down fast enough to deal with the amount of heat that comes through with each venting cycle. So that's something we're going to have to work on, is improving the cooling here. We could, of course, also improve this cooling so that this bit here happens faster, but we are passively producing water. And right now, every now and then, I just come over and manually relieve the pressure in here. There we go, and as you can see, that'll allow stuff through, and it'll heat it up, and then the air conditioner will cool it down. And that's the basic loop. Unfortunately, our water is right now at like 35 C. It's not great. We need to pressurize this pipe so that we can make all of that water, so there's no steam in that pipe. We don't want any steam. We're going to use the nitrogen over here to do that. These devices still need automation so that they only pull gas once it's at the right temperature. We want it at maybe 27°C or lower. This thing is pushing for 25, but of course the night gas is not always available to work with. So 26 is pretty good. 26 is pretty good. We vacuumed out the majority of our furnace. We could finish that off, I suppose. We are just currently kind of fighting for power, as you can see. The solar panels are just about scraping us through. We did have a big storm come through, and even that didn't fully charge us up. The Stirling engines had completely bottomed out. Not in the last episode, the missing one, but actually the one before that, which is a little terrifying. Because what had happened is a little bit of oxygen had gotten into the space. Remember, we had that fire over here, and I noticed it had burnt out one of the lights. Well, it also had burnt out the cables up there for the fans, which isn't very good. But they are now working again, and we are bringing gas in as fuel, and over time that will slowly build up, and our engines should kick back into action. Of course, right now, they're not doing anything because it is the daytime. The final thing we did, and there really wasn't all that much, was buy a bunch of water. We finally had a trader come through. We bought like 80 liters of water, and we bought a little bit more oxygen too. And that was about it for... I need to set that up properly. And that was about it. And we also just ran a little bit of extra pipe over here, just so that this area is somewhat more put together. And we put down a couple of, what do you call these things? Air conditioners. So these connect to the waste gas line, the same one that comes through for those large vents down there. And we also then connected the whole room up to a big old vent network in the ceiling. All it is just a bunch of passive vents with some pipe. It was like a bit of a nothing burger of an episode. Honestly, this recap has just saved you 55 minutes of me going, well, what if we put a vent here and not here? So... I wouldn't stress too much. We have put down some more of our water pipe. We are going to, of course, need to connect all of this. This last little bit in the corner here is missing. We want that to be one big happy loop. But unfortunately, we are out of resources completely. So I need to go do some mining. We need more of everything. We're out of steel. We're out of silicon. We're out of electrum. We're out of just you name it. We're out of it. It doesn't exist. I need to figure out how we're doing the mining, and hopefully while we're away, all of this kind of comes back into functionality. I'm actually going to turn off all of our machines here for a moment. I'll leave these two running. Those can all stay off. The air conditioner can stay on. Well, actually, that can go off too. Yeah, I'm going to just turn everything off that doesn't need to be on. These only use like 10 watts of power, so I'm not too worried. This setup needs to continue running. That is mission critical. Everything else can get turned off though, because yeah, we are going to go get some resources and just absolutely pray that that we don't die out here. I will. I was gonna say I'll turn the thing on, but maybe I won't. Yeah, the base uses a lot of power, and I'm actually a bit scared that we've somehow like lost a connection because these batteries just aren't recharging. I'm worried something else is burnt out, but it doesn't look to be the case. Yeah, maybe we just gotta pray for another storm to come through, or put down some more solar panels. We do have 8 of them. Currently doing nothing. Alright, but I am going to head outside. I'm going to do some mining. We need a lot of everything, and I will see you all in a second. Oh, you know what does strike me as important, actually, before we continue mining? We actually do have this coal generator. I completely forgot about it, and that produces a little bit of energy for us. It's like 5 megawatts consistently. We should definitely run that. I hate that we're at the point where we need to run that, but it does at least give us some juice, and once the sun sets, we'll hopefully have a bunch of stored fuel that we can run through the Stirling engines, so that'll be great. Let me continue with the mining, but that is our power sorted for tonight, at least. We got another 427 coal should we need it, but I want that to become steel. So yeah, I need like 1,500 iron to make another 2,000 batch of steel. Seems like a very good idea to do that. And then, of course, we also are going to want to get much more silicon. More silicon, more good. Alright, but I won't bore you with that. I'll see you all in a second. Okay, look at that. There we go. We've got a couple of stacks of iron, a huge stack of coal, and now we just got to navigate our way home without falling into the lava, because I am completely out of jetpack fuel. not ideal. We definitely need to use colder fuel now that we have access to it, because I am constantly running out of fuel. Because it's so hot, the pressure just doesn't quite hit the spot, does it? Now, speaking of hydration, like I said, we did buy a bunch of water from a trader, and as you can see, our money has gone down a bit. In fact, then we also were able to sell some ore to another trader, so we went back up a little bit, which is very nice. This is increasingly becoming outdated and useless, but you know what? It's all part of the game, probably, to someone. Okay, so the plan now is to let out all the gas from all these ores. We're going to off-gas them. Not all of them, just the ones that give us nitrogen. I don't really care at all in the slightest about the other ones. It's just the nitrogen that I care about. So let's slurp down some water. Let's slurp down some potatoes. And then we move to the next phase, which is going to be... Oh, probably... do you want to automate the gas capture? Nah, we don't use the gases yet. Oh, we could do that quickly. It doesn't take that long. And I do have IC10 chips. We also need to make some electrum, because I may or may not have accidentally produced like 50 IC10 chips by leaving the printer running and completely forgotten about the resources. Yes, that's what I wanted to say. Yeah, as you can see, we've got a couple of these lying around, so I think we can be a little bit spendy with it and go ahead and set up automation for those 3 tanks. Believe it or not, I don't think we actually want to automate the pollution capture now that I've been thinking about it a little bit more, because I'm kind of worried that it's going to liquefy in this pipe. It's currently very low pressure at high temperature, but at these temperatures, it might just liquefy. And then that would be a bit of a problem. And we don't have a convenient way of getting it over to our current liquid pollutant supply, which is like up there. So yeah, I think we might just not capture the pollutant in this pipe. And instead actually just remove this tank and vent the pollutant in this pipe. Yeah, it feels a bit silly to waste the filters like that, but I mean, at the same time, what are you gonna do, right? Because I don't need this. It's cold, which is nice, I guess. Maybe we should make use of it. I don't. It's just such little quantities. I don't feel too stressed. Anyway, let's go ahead and program up a couple of these. They're super simple, super straightforward. We just want to basically turn it off when it gets to temperature. So let's actually just import the code from this guy. We'll turn both of you back on. How are we doing for power? We got a little bit overnight from the Stirling engines, and the solar panels are now doing a bit of work as well. You love to see it. So let's just have a quick look at this code. So the filter units on database, tank pressure. Yeah, so basically we just want to add a little bit here. We also want to not just check the tank pressure, but also check the pipe temperature. So we're going to load into R1. This will be the dB output pressure, I want to say. Was it pressure output? Oh, pressure on the input. That's what we want to check. Yeah, we don't want to let it in unless the pressure on the input is at a certain level. We're also going to say, for this particular tank, we're going to have like a megapascal. I don't think we want any more. Everything else is going to get vented. That'll have to be done with something else. Yeah, I can go with the megapascal. That's fine. And then we're also going to want to... So that's checking if the pressure is less than 1000. Set R0 to 1. So why don't you set R1 to 1 if the pressure... Oh, we don't want the temperature, sorry. We want the temperature on the input. If the temperature on the input is less than, let's say, 30 C, you can start letting it in. Now let's go a bit more. Let's go 27. Yeah, and also we need to convert that to Celsius. So it'll be sub R1, and 273. Just to convert it from Kelvin to Celsius. All right, so that should work. And then we want to... And... Yeah, we want to and into R0, R1, and R0. So if both of those are positive, set this to 1, and then set that. That should be a different variable in case it isn't, and we mess with that. Just do it like this. Okay, so R2 will be set to 1 if both R1, which is the temperature, and R0, which is the pressure, are equal to 1. Okay, easy peasy. And then to set up a an output, like a vent out. How are we going to do that? The simplest way to do it, we could do it with the code. The easiest way to do it is just going to be with a back pressure regulator. And another pipe cowling. Yeah, give me some iron. Give me a pressure regulator. You need gold and copper. And I wasn't kidding. We are low on everything. We ordered that three electrum. That's all we got left. Okay, make me one of those, and then make me a pipe cowling. And make me some more insulated pipe. Can I make any more insulated pipe? No, I'm completely out of steel and silicon. Okay. Okay, and we just want to set this pressure regulator. Oh, wait, no, that's wrong. That needs to be a back pressure regulator, not a pressure regulator. We don't want to pressurize the atmosphere. We want to let gas out when the into the atmosphere when the pressure behind that valve is over 1,000 megapascals. You know what? Let's give ourselves a little bit of wiggle room. Let's go like 1, 2. Yeah, so if you overshoot a little bit, it'll let it out. Okay, we can always tweak that. And then this just needs to be wired in. And we're out of cable. Never thought I'd see the day. Wow. Okay, well then that means that you are ready to rock. You can go in here. Oh, we are setting the mode, right? Just want to make sure. Yeah, mode is set to R2. Okay, so only filter if those two conditions are met. So it should be pulling gas in there now. Should see. Flashing an error. What's your problem? Error at line 5. Ah, we don't have a tank. We don't have a tank. That's the problem. Okay. Oh, we actually do need the tank, don't we? Yeah, we do need the tank. So I just need to put the tank on D0. Okay. So you need to get your pollutant tank. Yeah, and you are the NOS tank. And you are the N2 tank. Okay, let's try that again. So you need to have D0 set to the pollutant tank. I was going to say we can just read the output pressure, but not really, because the tanks now have their own pressure, and that's the one I'm worried about blowing up. Okay, cool, that's on, and that's going to be working just fine. And, nah, I changed my mind. Let's leave it at 1,000. We'll go like 1,005, so there's just a little bit of wiggle room. And then you can come down like this. There should be a cable. Yes, there is a cable hiding back here. Oh, I saw it for a second. Oh, there. Got him. Okay, cool. So that's the tank wired up. Which means we can now finally do this. Pollutant tank. There we go. Okay. And export and insert. Hey, okay, so you should siphon pollutant out now. And yes, you are. Okay, good stuff. Very good stuff. All right, you are a back pressure regulator, so you should not be pushing anything into that pipe. At least not right now. It does not appear to be the case. The number of moles is unchanging. Where the hell are they going? Ah, it's because there's like less than a mole in there. Okay, fair. Now, we do the same thing for you as well. You, I'm less worried about right now. Although, to be completely honest, it's going to be exactly the same situation, isn't it? Although, for you, we don't want only 1,000 megapascals. Let's have a look at our... Is it nitrous? Yeah, nitrous oxide. Okay, nitrous oxide in Celsius will... Oh, we're going to have quite high pressure to keep it liquid. At 27C, we need at least a megapascal of pressure, or it's going to be liquid. So let's push this one up to like... This one could we'll just hold 5 megapascals. I think that's going to be the winner. Export, put you in here, and also only pull it in once it's below 27C. And then same thing for our nitrogen. Super simple code, but it will work. Now, we could actually control all of these machines using the same network code, but we don't need to, because we have a surplus of IC-10 chips. Oh, right. I need to set up the tank, which means I need to connect the tank, which means I need more cable. It's always something with you people, huh? Okay, there we go. NO2 tank is connected, so you should begin siphoning. Not that there is anything for you to pull in. And we can do the same thing here. For the nitrogen, I actually want to keep like... I want to keep like 35 megapascals. All the nitrogen we can get, basically. I want to put in that tank. Because nitrogen will not liquefy unless it is very, very cold. If we have a look here... yeah, that curve's a little bit more dramatic, isn't it? Take off the logarithmic scale. Basically, nitrogen will remain liquid until it's at 5 megapascals and negative 90. You need to be very cold. So basically, at any temperature we're going to be at, which is going to be 27 and up, it's going to be a gas. So we can actually go ahead and even push that up a little bit further. We can go right to like the theoretical maximum of our pipes. And that's because we're going to want as much nitrogen as we can get going forward. So there we go. You just run forever. But it will at least now stop if it needs to. Alright, so we got 1.2 megapascals, which is 40 moles of nitrogen. Excellent. Before we go any further, one thing I do want to quickly do before we off-gas those ores is just put up a quick pipe drain. Because again, we don't care about that liquid pollutant for now. So I'm just going to dump it into the atmosphere using a liquid drain. That is the plan. So we just need a bit of iron. We've got some copper lying down here. Let's go ahead and put that in and make that up. And then we will we'll use our remaining insulated pipes here just to make a little run outside. And the purpose of this is going to be with the passive liquid drain. We're just going to let out all the stuff we don't want, right? Which right now will fit right over here. Actually, hold on. I don't think I even need to run extra pipe. I think we could just do this. There we go. So that should, any pollutant that pulls up in this pipe should just sort of vent itself out to the atmosphere right now. It's kind of like a condensation valve just directly on the pipe. So if we have any pollutant in there right now, which we do not, it will cool itself down. Okay, you can get turned back on. You get to work. You got stuff to do. There we go. Cool down that pipe for me. Thank you very much. And let's do this again. So we've got a constant flow of pressure coming in. Yep. And let's do the silicon. Hey, okay, it didn't fully off gas. No, it's getting there. It's fighting for 100°C. This temperature is holding steady as we're sort of constantly adding in the hot CO2. Okay, lovely. That's all the nitrogen. I don't think we really want anything else in here except maybe the oxygen. So we can run the gold through. Yeah, and there you go. The pressure is going up, and as the temperature drops, that pollutant will liquefy. And I don't want all of it. I want a lot of it to just disappear, to be completely honest. But we do now have some O2, at least in that line, which is going to get siphoned out. And it's gorgeous. Just a couple moles, but hey, it adds up. And then I think I'll run the lead through as well, just so we get the nitrous. But the nitrous is going to liquefy. That is the only problem. And because we don't want the lead to get super hot, because if the lead gets super hot, it will it'll make it hard to make solder. And there you go. We do have assorted stuff liquefying in here, and the pipe stress is not increasing because all of that's just getting dumped out into atmosphere. And as you can actually, there's a square of liquid pollutant right there. Yeah, so collecting nitrous is going to be a little tough if we have that thing on the line, but I don't really know how else to do this except to stop the input and finish vacuuming out this this furnace. You know what we could do? We could cool it down a little bit just with maybe some copper. There we go. Crack that open. We got just a little bit of gas off and we cooled it down slightly. Okay, lovely. I'm going to let that thing vacuum itself out. We will allow the air conditioner to do its work. And we'll probably pull in like a mole of nitrous. It's going to be really hard to get any nitrous with this setup. I don't think it's actually going to work very well. We'd have to have no pollutants at all in the furnace. Or at least remove that and suck it up quickly enough that it doesn't break the pipes. I don't know. We'll figure that out one day, but not today. Because that is not critical. Right now we have... How much water have we got? made since we last did this. We got 2 liters in there. We got half a liter here. We got about 3 liters here. Okay, and these 2 liters are at 56C. Yeah, so the problem is the water's hot. We definitely need more air conditioners doing this work. But at least we do have more power now. Right, we'll have to go out there and fix our solar panels, but yes, we are charging the batteries with those wind turbines. More wind turbines would be good. I think the frequency of storms has been increasing. Definitely feels that way. Alright, let's head outside and go ahead and create for ourselves just a touch of alloy. What do we need here? We're going to need quite a few things, actually. So the pressure's pretty high right now. Let's dump it all, because that's not hot enough for what we want to do. We want to make steel first. And I think the easiest way to make steel first is to make electrum first. I think that makes sense. But yeah, I think I am also going to... Hold on, pause you for a second. Yeah, you're pretty hot. Let's run all these ores through, because I don't really care about these gases. And we'll just run the 3 stacks of iron through. Right, plus the coal. We'll allow them to reagent. And then we'll pick it all up and do it again, I guess. You can just pump a little bit of gas in just to keep the temperature high. Again, that comes from our hot gas side. It's not hot enough to make steel in the season we're in right now, unfortunately. Okay, so while that happens, we can go ahead and rather precariously go outside during a storm. I know. Just slowly crawl our way over to turn our trading platform back on. There we go. And continue the scan for more traders, because more water is more good. Alright, what other things do we need to do around base? We need more silicon and more everything else. So never mind, that's not much use. Yeah, we need more silicon to build this place out. Mostly in the form of pipes. We'd love to put down some flooring. In fact, I don't really see a reason not to do that right now. While we're waiting for other stuff to go down, we can put down these walls. This one actually needs to become a ladder, I think. I think that would make a lot more sense than having this here, because we need to be able to get to our pipes. So why don't we put you over here? We do actually want another planter, I think. So you'll be a ladder. And we need some stuff up there and more walls. Alright, cool. So that's the walls done. We'll also need to do the ceilings at some point, but that was mostly just to kill time during the storm. I've been sort of working on that room little bit by bit while I'm waiting for other stuff to happen in the base. That's mostly the setup and the premise. We do also want to probably seal in this room now and start oxygenating it, because we can cool it. We have the air conditioners set up, and the rationale for doing that is then we can start planting plants. We'll mix in a little bit of CO2 probably as well. Okay, so you have all of my steel reagent mix. So we're just going to pick up all of this. Okay, that was a little goofy, but we did get all of it. And now we can quickly vent that out before our furnace explodes. Oh my god, that was in the super red. My bad. Okay, and let's just get these stowed away so they don't get accidentally fed into a recycler or something. Alright, and with all of that siphoned out... Hold on, hold. Do something like that. We'll make our electrum. So that's going to be... I guess we'll just do 100 gold and 100 silver. Okay, we're going to have to pull the lever at just the right time, because there is a very tight pressure window. In fact, we might already be over it. We are. Got to be like 3.2, I think. The temperature doesn't matter too much. Electrum. Forget this every time. You need 2.4 megapascals. Okay, we got to go quite a bit down. 2.6. 5. 4. There we go. Okay, thank you. There's my electrum. All right, now, with the remainder of this stuff, we're going to process up that iron. And these will be pre-mixed in a perfect ratio. But we can go ahead and do the whole thing, and it shouldn't change the temperature or pressure at all because it's been off-gassed. Alright, so when we come back, we will have a bunch of steel. And I'll actually just leave that open, because it should mix in a perfect... you know what? It might not. It might not. I feel like there's going to be like a rounding error that's going to screw me over somehow. So let's put our electrum away. I can just go in there. That's our solar. And that's some gold. Okay, big batch done. What's next? What is next is we need a ladder to get up to that space, so I don't ever have to use my... That's a locker. We need a ladder. And that's going to be made in this guy. With a bit of iron. Perfect. Right over there. Okay, this is all ready to rock. We do need filters in this room, just in case, but we can probably do that with a portable filtration unit. Put it up there. Just connect that to the waste gas line. It can just dump whatever it gets out into space. Yeah, that works for now. Okay. We need to figure out what we're doing with this room. We need to pressurize this room as well. But I don't want to do that until we've got enough water, because we're just going to be heating... We're going to be using our heat capacity in our night gas tank. So that's what we need to do next. We need to separate the gas tank systems. Because right now our night gas is being used for cooling and for liquefying pollutant to make cooling, which is not sensible. We shouldn't do that. We only need to use the small tank we've got. We need to separate the two systems. They're basically going to have exactly the same functionality. We just need to split them up. So right now I want to use this big tank for our heating and cooling of the base. And I want to use the small tank on the roof to deal with the liquefaction of pollutant for this line here. That's the way I want to do that. So we already have a tank. I think we just need another icy housing, basically. So give me another icy housing. Okay, the last steel ingot is currently chipping away. So once that's done, we will pull the lever crunk and we'll be able to make that. Let's just have a quick look at what is actually outside. Orbiting Organics, would you be so kind as to land for me? Let's just see what you've got to sell. And before you come, let's just have a look at what's going on here. So yeah, in the past, we had these vents here, pulling in gas to this tank, liquefying it, and working this setup. I'm going to continue using that. All I'm going to do, basically, is separate this tank here. I'll probably just move these vents to, like, over here, run them on their own network, and then replace these with some large vents to pull in the nighttime gas. And that will work just fine. Okay, so all we need is, we need 3 more powered vents. So 6 powered vents plus 6 electronic parts, plus some plastic sheets, I think. Now you can sell me a bunch of junk. What do you buy? You buy steel sheets and frames for $4.50 is pretty good. You'll buy rice and seeds and pumpkins. You don't happen to sell me anything I actually need, do you? Cocoa powder wouldn't hurt. We could make some cookies. Tomato soup. Bit of chow. Get a bit of chow. Yeah, why not? Let's buy a can of tomato soup. Thank you. Some real food for once. Man's lived on a diet of spuds for like 10 years. He's definitely got scurvy. Okay, cool. There is our steel. Let's put that in here. Let's make ourselves a singular IC housing. While he works on that, yeah, you can resume looking for the next guy. Let's go ahead and get our soup, and let's go have a snack. And then we will print up all of our vents and things. My man's is it's a little stinky. Oh, delicioso. And in fact, because it is a higher grade of food, we actually get a little bit of bonus hydration out of this. So if I grab this water bottle, we can drink to, I think, 125%. 121. 124. There we go. And this bottle can get recycled. Lovely. If I eat this, does that lower my food quality? No, it doesn't. Okay. I must check if that filter is still good for the CO2, actually. Go back in. Because I noticed the pressure in here is not going down. 64%. And 100% polluted. Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. Okay. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to steal the code from this thing. We're going to have to adjust it slightly so that it works. But if I go to... Oh, where are you? If I go to you, and I drop you down, and I put you on, and I say export. Oh, no. I pressed the wrong button, didn't I? Reload. Oh, thankfully we just had an autosave. Okay, lovely. I just overwrote that code. I needed to press import to pull it into the laptop. Right. Okay. Give me the... Man, one wrong move in this game, and you really are cooked, aren't you? Okay, give me that. And swap it out for this. Okay. We're going to put this here. We're going to click import to pull that code in. We're going to leave you running for tonight. And now we go over this way. Okay. Maybe I should just do this in the next morning so we don't lose all of this. But in the meantime, what I can do is put this down. We want this to connect. I'm going to have to separate these networks as well. Yeah. Because we don't... That code down there, we're basically just going to move it up here. And we're going to split these networks up. Because I don't need... I need another one of these. And I don't need this tank or any of that stuff talking to that tank. Basically. So we're going to pull up a lot of this stuff here. Alright. So I need cable coils. I need vents. I need to come back with a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, powered vents. Just need some Invar. Of which we have plenty. We made 500 in the previous episode by mistake. Oh, that's the hidden episode. Sorry. I guess you know what we will do? We'll upload it with some smooth jazz music. No commentary. Unlist the video and put it in the description. So if you want to go see what we got up to in the previous episode, you can see for yourself. Maybe it's some nice second screen content for you. I don't know. You should be running. You need Electrum. Okay, so we're going to need a bunch of those. We're also going to need this gold in here, along with some copper to make me some electronic parts. And iron. Ah, it's been a while since I've seen your name. Oh, there's my silicon. Oh, gorgeous. Why don't you let in a little bit more gas, and that we should see some more combustion take place. Why don't you cook me up some iron, too, while you're at it. Holy temperature. Okay, sun is coming up. Let's go ahead and try and sort this out. I know it seems like an odd thing to be doing, but it really is important that we separate these systems because it's causing us a lot of trouble that they are one contiguous network. Things like, for example, this pipe here, which connects to our air conditioner down there, and this pipe here, which connects to our air conditioner in that room, and this pipe over here, all need to be separated because they need to become separate networks in their entirety. So I think, hold on, the first thing we need to do actually is go turn off that code down there. Oh, do we? Do we? I'm kind of fine with you vacuuming things out right now. I think that's for the best. Because you're probably a bit hot, if I had to guess. 144C. Yeah, I'm going to let you continue to vacuum stuff up, and we'll get everything else set up in the meantime. So, this is going to get new cable, which connects to these things here, but not that stuff there. And I think the best place to put that is honestly, like, right over here? Sure. Sure. Yeah. So basically, we're building a new network from scratch here. And we just need to remember not to link these up before we separate them, because it will short out. Sorry, we must separate them before we tie the two yellow parts together. And you, I would like you to be yellow cable. I am tempted to do something like that for now, right? So now we've separated these networks. The code is going to be bugged because it's looking for that liquid tank and it won't find it. But these are now separate networks. Yep. Okay, the pipes are complaining. That's fine. That's what they do. What the hell? Where'd my pipe... Oh, I was like, where'd all my cable go? I short-circuited for a second there. Okay, so the data networks are now separate, even if they aren't properly set up. But now we need to separate the pipe networks as well, which is easier said than done. Because all this stuff goes to all sorts of spooky and goofy places. For example, these pipes need to stay connected to these pipes, right over here. Because this pipe over... Where does that come up? Comes up like... there? That is the night gas line, which needs to remain connected. So we're gonna salvage all this. Okay. And then we need to separate this bit. Cool. That'll work. And I think... Do I get a pipe back if I do that? I do. And I think I get a pipe back if I do that here as well. Okay, lovely. So that's now its own little contained thing. We're not producing any more liquid pollutant right now, but we can fairly easily. Okay, so let's get back this pipe. And let's just repair the systems we had originally. So this is our greenhouse aircon. That needs to be connected to the night gas line. And that can go this way. And this line is the one that provides us with jetpack fuel, I think. And also cooling for our man cave. Alrighty, so we want to move you. Okay, and we want to connect you up to this T-junction here. Basically. We can also pick up all of these small vents and repurpose them for other things. Okay, we need you to connect to this line instead. So why don't you connect right there, and we can do another one maybe over here. I think 2 of them will be plenty. We only had 4 because we were trying to gather more gas more quickly, and we just don't need to do that anymore. It's now for a very small amount. And if I'm not mistaken, these are just left set to set inward, right? So we just leave you set like this. Great. Okay, lovely. And then we just need to put down your icy housing. Okay, and let's have a quick look here at what we need to fix. So, we need the sensor. That's fine. We'll need to go get another sensor. We don't have one. We'll need the liquid analyzer. We'll need the gas analyzer. We'll have a vent mode thing. We don't need the powered vent reference at all. We can alias and move the vent mode in the same thing. And the whole idea here is we're setting the vents to... Oh, we don't want this, actually. Let's get rid of this whole vent mode thing in its entirety. That was when we were doing the switching back and forth. We just want to turn these bad boys on and off. Ignore this. So we're going to run the main loop, which takes us to intake, so we don't actually need this. We'll remove all references to the powered vents, which is all of this stuff here. We just don't need it. We don't need to purge the gas ever. Okay, let's run through it. So we're going to load in the sensor temperature, which means I need to go get another sensor quickly. Okay, let's put the sensor somewhere where the vents won't affect it. Probably somewhere like over here. This can be where our night gas sensor goes. Okay, dope. So that's all wired up. That should all work. Let's just have a quick look here at what's going on in the code. Okay, so we are loading in the sensor temperature. We now have that sensor set to D0. We are loading in the liquid analyzer pressure. So that's checking whether or not the pressure in the tank is the right one. And also the pressure of the gas tank as well. Yes. Okay, cool. So that's the gas analyzer and the liquid analyzer. Let's just make sure we have both of those devices. There is our liquid pollutant analyzer. That's for the liquid side. And the gas analyzer is where? It does not exist. It is down there. So instead, we need to read the tank pressure. Okay. So we're going to call this tank. Not tack. Tank. That'll go on D2. And we'll read the tank pressure. So if the tank pressure is below 20K, sure. You know what? Let's just make this 5.5. The tank pressure is below 5.5. And the liquid analyzer pressure is below 5.5. And the sensor is below 130. We will turn the vents on. So basically, we're going to add R0 and R1. If they are both 1, this will become 2. And then we add R2 to this. And if it's also a 1, this becomes 3. And then what we'll do is we will set another variable, we'll call it R4, equal to R0, and then R4. Okay, and we're just turning the vents on and off. That's basically the idea. We didn't have to remove that vent mode variable, it just worked out that way. Okay, and these vents, I just want to make sure, are the active vents. That's the kit. We want the actual vent. Let's just double click that. Make sure that is the correct hash code. It is. All right, so that should work now. So if I export and put you here, what pressure are you at? You're at 4.3, so we are below the line. We just need to set up the connections, which were D0, D1, D2. So sensor, analyzer, tank. Okay. So we need the gas sensor, need the liquid analyzer, and we need the night gas tank. Is that the liquefaction tank? And the liquefaction tank. Okay. Turn you on. No errors. It's running great. Okay, so this will turn this on at nighttime if we need more pollutant. Great, so that's done. That system is now self-contained. We now need to reconnect these two networks and also put down more stuff. All right, so let's grab this. Let's just clean up these wires a touch. Can't really move the lights. They go where they go. And also, just for the ease of coding, I'm going to use the large powered vents for the output and the smaller powered vents for the input. It is less power efficient, but it'll just mean I can refer to them in slightly more effective ways. So we'll line you up. Why not? Oh, you're so close to fitting. You're so close to fitting. We'll put you here. Powered vent 1. We'll put you here. No, we won't. We'll put you powered vent 2. We'll do that as powered vent 3 over there. Where else are we going to fit one here? We could fit one here pretty comfortably. And maybe one up here? Yeah. One there and one there. Okay, cool. That'll work. They'll probably interfere with each other, but c'est la vie. In fact, let's just move you up by 1. Okay. Now to sort out the pipes. Oh, I need regular pipe kits to build that one? Oh, I thought it was electronic parts. Okay, I guess that's for the larger vents only. Yeah, we just need some regular pipe. Easy to get. And then we'll have to fix the code for that one too. And the nice thing about separating these two lines is that we will now be able to grab like maybe 55 or 45 megapascals of pressure. Let's also get some more drains just to put on that line so we can dump any liquid pollutant that collects. I will chuck a condensation valve down just so we can gather some of it. But at the same time, I'm also just kind of like, I want to get rid of this stuff. At this point, we get so much of it. I'll do one more of these and then another valve. Regular valve. Out of iron, of all things. Oh, and before we forget, let's put this pipe cowling down on this pollutant tank that we set up at the start of the episode. I don't want that to accidentally go kablamo on me. So I need you in one hand, and hold on, we'll do this in a second, and you in the other. So it's screwdriver and pipe, sorry. Oh, I'm gonna need more pipes too. And then welding torch and 2 plastic sheets. Okay, so I did not come prepared in the slightest for this build. Very on brand. We can wire up this stuff at least. I want to try and get this going before the night hits, for obvious reasons. Yeah, I sincerely hope that we do not have too much draw on this line. It might fry that wire, who knows. But I will do one of these. We were going to have a passive liquid drain like right there. And we'll do another one on this segment of the pipe as well, just for the fun of it. Right there. I think it can now short out electronics, actually. So let's not put that there. And let's instead put that somewhere separated. There. That seems good. Okay, good stuff. So you are pulling in gas, as you should be. And you will do so until your pipe hits the right amount. Yeah, look at that. There we go. Slurping it all in. So once it gets to 5.5, it'll start liquefying that pollutant. Okay, that should turn itself off. I think you'll be okay here. Maybe not. We'll leave you there for now. Okay, am I missing anything else? No. But these lights could probably be connected to a different network, I think. Just for safety's sake. Let's link them up to this one. Okay, cool. That appears to be working. Just want to have a look at what's going on in here. Yep, so we are shutting it off when the pipe temperature gets to the just right amount, and that's because we're getting more liquid collecting in there. Okay, awesome. Cool, so that's working exactly how it's supposed to. Let's connect up this line with the pollutant line, which is going to have to come over this way. And then I guess just branch in maybe over here. And I have a feeling we are going to need more. Yeah, okay, definitely going to need more. Okay, so we need 2 more pipes, a bunch more insulated pipe, and plastic sheets to finish that off. Oh, Stella Sprouts, let's talk to you. I'd love to have a conversation with Stella Sprouts. Down you come. A very busy trade station these days. It's a nice change. Was it you? Screwdriver. Need a screwdriver to put the pipes in there. Okay, now I need my welder. And plastic sheets. Yeah, you'll be fine. We got tomato soup now. Oh, my little welder battery's out of juice. Which one of these tools ended up getting the welder battery? Must have been that one. There we go. That always happens. Swap them around, forget to put them back, and look at you. You're dead. Okay. Lovely. So, that is all 4 of our... or 6, sorry, of our larger vents set up. These ones will always pull in. We never need them to switch modes. I know I could just have it with these. I could have them like switch mode rather than turn on and off, but no, I won't. I'm vibe coding at this point in my life. You see, it's a term I've recently learned about and already fully adopted into every aspect of my being. Okay, muchos gracias, mi amigos. That works pretty well. We've got everything linked up. I'm going to fix these solar panels. We'll go fix the code, and then I guess we'll just have to wait for nighttime to see how we do. And I'll probably just do some more work on the pool area while we wait. Okay, I'm going to polish up this code, and we'll snap back in a second once it's all ready to go, and we'll go over what's going on. Okay, I think we're there. It was a pretty easy edit, to be completely honest. We've already got a lot of our stuff set up. I just replaced the vent that was the small active vents with the smaller powered vents and kind of left the rest of it to go. So what it does, we've got an intake and a purge function. The intake function checks the temperature, checks the gas pressure, turns the vents on to suck in night gas if it's nighttime and the tank pressure is below 45. The purge does the opposite. It checks if the internal pressure is above, let's actually push this up to like 150. We'll do like 148. 142 just felt a little bit too soon. I feel like we could get a little bit more cooling out of it before we ditch it. Let's go, because at like 151, 152, that seems to be where it all bottoms out. So let's just go with 150. That's where the air conditioners seem to stop working. And yeah, that's it. So we basically just check whether or not the gas analyzer temperature is at, above 150, and if it's not nighttime, then go ahead and purge the gases. Uh-oh. I think we're gonna die here. My waste tank's full. It's been a while since that's happened. Whew. A little spicy there for a second. Didn't we set this room pressure to be 50? Why the hell is it so high? Oh, because we keep dumping O2 into this room and not filtering it out. I see. I see. We actually need to put an O2 filter in here. Because there's too much oxygen in this room, isn't there? Yep. But now the pressure's gonna filter it too quickly. Okay, we'll just siphon out a little bit and put it back into the system. But there you go. That's the basic premise. I think that's all gonna work. It should anyway. That's on. Let's chow. Oh, let's drink first because we've got max water. We can recycle this bottle too.
Low pressure. Oxygen.
Oh, crap. Pull that out.
Pressure critical. Low pressure.
You'll be fine.
Pressure critical.
You'll be fine. Siphoned out a little bit too much oxygen there. Okay, we do have water. 11 liters in the drinking fountain, which is very nice. Just gotta wait for the old pressure in this room to come back up. If I just dump this, how's that gonna do? There you go. It gets us up to like 29. Perfect. Okay, and then that'll slowly fill that back up with that. So with that in mind, we can ditch this. Yeah, there we go. Drink up while we've got 3 stars of food, and then eat our cruddy potatoes. So I think the reason this room gets overpressurized is this back pressure regulator is set to only allow room gas in, you know, when it's up to 50 megapascals, but my waste tank will frequently contain oxygen, and because it uses it to cool me, and just so every now and then the pressure in here builds up beyond what it's happy with. Okay, let's do a quick battery recharge on all our tools, and then make sure our night gas is working tonight once the time ticks over. I think it should be fine, but you know, it's always worth checking these things. Oh, and we have made a lot of pipes, which is probably not a bad thing. We're gonna need a lot of pipes. Maybe not this many pipes. Still got 144 silicon, hell yeah. You know what I do need? I need other pipes. I need the other ones. I need liquid pipe, this one. Please and thank you. Let's go talk to this trader, and let's also talk to Astro Ether. See what they've got going on. You sell seeds. I think we should expand our seed collection. What do you buy? You buy water, you buy a plant sampler, huh? Cool. You'll buy some bulk CO2. Might be able to sell you that. It's too much trouble to get it over here, to be honest. Blueberries. What do I want? What does a blueberry do for us? So it'll eat... Okay, it's like all the other plants. It eats 8.64 moles per hour of carbon dioxide and exhales oxygen. You just grow? Okay. What kind of... You like 0 to 20 C. You'll be okay in 30. That's fine for the pressure. Max pressure. Yeah, you'll grow. 10 minutes of light per day. It needs to match up with the potatoes. That's the big one. It's 5 minutes of light per day. Blueberries need more. Well, you just get as much as you get. Okay, let's buy some blueberries. How about a strawberry? Let's get so we can grow some strawberries too. $250 strawberries. We can grow some cocoa and sugarcane and wheat and tomatoes and switchgrass and soybeans and rice and pumpkin and corn. Maybe not the pumpkin. Oh my god. We don't need mushrooms, that's for sure. Okay, let's buy some corn. I'll take the corn. We can use that to make flour. I'm pretty sure we can buy the wheat also for flour. Soybeans. Yes, to make milk. Switchgrass, what do you do? Oh, I just hit the microphone, sorry. Switchgrass. You have the standard production. You have some toxin resistance. Cool, good to know. You like having 10 minutes of light per day. So what are you for? What do you do, Switchgrass? 200 bucks? I don't know enough about you to buy you for 200 bucks. I will buy tomatoes, though. I will buy wheat. I will buy sugarcane, because I know we can use it. 844. And then we have a choice. Do we want cocoa, blueberries, or strawberries? Let's grow some strawberries. Not yet. We're not there yet. We'll get there one day. We're not there yet. Astro Ether. Come on down. Okay, the night is coming. We'll talk to this guy and see if our new code worked. Okay, what is your problem? Oh, we never put the we never put the code back in. Whoopsie. Export that code. Put it in here. So we should see you guys slurping up some night gas. Very, very cool. There we go. Are we slurping up night gas? We slurping out night gas. What's happening here? Oh, that pipe is not connected. That would have been a disaster. Do you see that? Do you see that right there? That would have been the end of this base. It all would have blown up. Just that little change is going to dramatically improve our odds of not spontaneously combusting. Yeah, there we go. There's a bunch of liquid pollutant forming in there. Okay, so now we are going to siphon in gas until this thing gets to like 45 megapascals, which is just an obscene amount of thermal capacity. And we'll be able to use that to cool down all of our bits. And yes, even some of our pieces. And we haven't actually been producing water this episode. We are at 3.7 still. 2.5 here. Oh, and I know why. It's because this was turned off. I've been playing with the mixture to try and get this just right. It's a little tricky. You don't actually want to set this to 6673. It seems you want to be closer to like 2575. And that's because it seems to mix by molecular weight, which is a little goofy. But that gives us a 3236. I'd rather burn the fuel oxygen poor than anything else. So yeah, let's mix up like, oh, I don't know. We do need to set up some automation for this, by the way. In fact, we can probably do that with one of these chips here. If I just quickly set you to talk to the gas mixer, I want you to stop the gas mixer when your input is above a certain limit, so we don't accidentally mix until we blow up. Okay, can I get you? There we go. Can I get you to the gas mixer? Perfect. And then we need our... Where is our laptop? There it is. I probably don't need to keep the labeler on me. I think I might start leaving the labeler behind places, because I need an extra slot in here, so I can carry on some pipes. I think, yeah, my two least used tools are probably the portable light, which could realistically go there, right? It just the shadows get a bit weird. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, portable light could go there. Duct tape can just get out. The hard suit doesn't really need it. And then I'd love to just keep some pipes in my toolbar. That's just super helpful. Okay, what was I doing? I was doing this. So all we're going to do here is import your code, which is super duper simple. This is the whole code. It's just basically, is the pressure high? And I just want to do another one here. We're going to alias, we don't have to alias it, but we'll alias D, we'll alias gas mixer to D0. And then just in the main loop, we will check. So I want to check the pressure input. We're going to load into R2 the combustor's pressure input. We could actually use R0 and R1 again, but it's fine. We'll just do it differently. And then if it's less than, let's go for like 5 megapascals, right? Then we'll just bump these all up by a couple nodes here. So you're going to be R2, you'll be R3. And then this thing right here will be, we want to set the gas mixer mode on to R3. Okay, cool. So yeah, that'll just check, is the pressure in the pipe in front of it above 20 megapascals? If so, go ahead, turn off your, your combustor. If the input pressure is below 5 megapascals, you can turn on the gas mixer. And just so we just mix enough gas. And what that should do, I hope, is shut this bad boy off once the fuel gets to the right pressure. Okay, it's turning it back on, so that's working. Uh-oh. And we've blown a pipe somewhere. Where have we blown a pipe? Something has exploded here. This tank here has exploded. Too much liquid has collected. Okay. We're gonna have to crack you open. We're gonna grab piece of green pipe over here. And again, this is just pollutant liquefying in this pipe is causing this problem for us. I'm pretty sure we put liquid drains on there, but I guess we just don't have enough liquid draining. Yes, there was a bunch of liquid pollutant. Well, hey, we got our first swimming pool on Vulcan, guys. We did it. Finally. Oh, it's very cold over here where the pollutant poured out. Wow. Okay, there's a gas relief valve there. This really should be relieving its... I'm just going to have to put some more drains down, I guess. Give me more drains. We're just going to be liquefying pollutant too quickly. What do you sell, Chief? You sell water. Hey! Hey, okay. We will be buying 52 liters of water. We need 900 bucks. Okay, what can I sell you? You'll buy volatiles. Okay. Probably shouldn't have bought all those seeds. Okay, yeah, you are ditching that. That's perfect. Are you shorting out? No. Lovely. And you are currently venting to atmosphere? Why? Ah, because our pipes, we did get very hot. Okay, understood. We want to continue to dump liquid pollutant out of this pipe. Clearly the passive drains are too slow. We could actually just do one right here. We could easily see. Yep, it'll be very easy for us to see if there is too much pollutant. Do another one right over there. Okay, that should just help clean it out a little bit faster. Keep that pipe stress down. Yeah, there we go. Just a bunch of drains. Now, you may be saying, well, why don't you just run it into this pipe? Because I don't want to accidentally overpressurize it. That is the reason why, and also it's hot as hell. No need for it. We've got a dedicated system to collect liquid pollutant. We don't need to collect every drop. It doesn't matter if there's a little bit of waste. Okay, but as we finish off today, we can take a little ride on the on the vents. Whee! And I will see you all in the next one for a little more Vulcan goodness. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out today. The base is growing large. It is monolithic. It is hard to comprehend. And I am loving every second of it, Jerry. This has been an unfathomably long recording. Magic, I'm so sorry. This is going to be like a 30 gig transfer. And as always, gamers, Magic and I will see you in the next one when we hopefully finally have enough water to build the pool, or at least start the kiddie pool. I think that's going to be the goal for the next episode. We're going to pressurize that room below, pressurize our water line, and start letting the first water out into the world. I hope you've all been having a wonderful time, and I will see you all in the next one. Cheers. What are you still doing here?